all these drone incursions, all the data that we're gathering, how do we learn from it? How do we take those instances and feed it into machine learning?
You guys are really harnessing the measure twice, cut once kind of scenario. That way it's not something that you're shooting down just because it's a knee-jerk reaction. You're verifying to ensure that we are hitting the right target at the right time.
Ruggedization matters. Much like you're saying, operators need clarity. They also need equipment they can rely on. And we're taking that data back. We're going to refine our algorithms and be ready for the next opportunity the next time we can come to African lion. 12 months ago, this was an idea.
Tech has been the focus of African Lion 2026 as part of the Micro Journeys Inside Access segment. Now, we've seen a lot of different vendors here showcasing their individual capabilities. Everything from drones to UAS to mapping capabilities. But one of the most interesting things that we've seen so far is Lockheed Martin. Now, Lockheed Martin has done something that only Lockheed Martin can do, which is taking all of these different vendor capabilities around the world, finding the ones that are highly strategic to the mission and integrating them into a set of capabilities. You'll see behind here all different types of companies. We have Crossbow over here. We have all these different types of things that are aggregating together to solve specific problems. With the lessons learned that we get from these types of engagements, these types of exercises, and the brilliant minds that are found at Lockheed Martin, it showcases this capability that is only found here at African Lion. So we've had the opportunity to sit down, or I guess stand up and talk with someone from Lockheed. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about all this tech that we're seeing here?
Yeah, great. Thank you, Daniel. And greetings. My name is Tyler Griffin. I'm Lockheed Martin's Counter UAS Director and thrilled to be a part of African Lion, bringing this aggregated technology forward to provide defense in depth for small drones and one-way attack or groups of stream raid or swarms. The Sanctum counter-UAS system brings together those partner sensors and those partner effectors to deliver overwhelming and compelling effect.
So defense in depth has been one of the key terms that has been used here at this exercise. Layers of defense that ultimately help to protect whatever it may be, whether it be a soldier, whether it be our critical information. Now, I'm looking around here at all of these different pieces. What are we looking at as we look at this device here, and this device here?
Sure. Daniel, we have partner sensors and partner effectors. What you're looking in the back left is a low-cost radar capability that has defended stadiums, it's defended critical installations, the power grid, and is deployed today in many places around the world. Those low-cost radars provide a detection of incoming. It could be a drone, maybe it's a bird, and how do we determine the difference? We have an RF detection capability that tells us if there's a link between an operator and that object that radar's detected. That's a clue. This could be a problem. And then if we want to look at it visually, behind you, and you see the Kingdom of Morocco Royal Armed Forces African Lion poster, but just in front of that is a crossbow laser weapon system that includes two cameras you see to the bottom.
Right here.
A daytime camera and a nighttime thermal imager that can give you confidence day or night that what you've detected and what you've seen in your RF transmission is a threat or not. Then the question becomes, what do you do about it? Maybe we could talk a little bit more about how we would go about helping the operator defend our freedoms.
Now, before we get to that, I do want to ask a question. This laser here. Now, you know, I can go to Walmart, I can buy a laser, and usually it's there to point and click at different things that I want to highlight at a distance. What is this laser doing?
So this laser, developed for commercial cutting and welding purposes and partnering with IPG Photonics, incorporated in Massachusetts in the United States, allows us to propagate heat, not in a short range to cut a car door, but to burn a drone out of the sky at multiple kilometers.
So you have the ability here to harness the power of a laser and basically shoot down a moving object that is coming in and could potentially be a threat to whatever environment it's in, correct?
Exactly. And the key is having confidence in what you're seeing so you minimize risk to the surrounding environment. And that's why having 3 different sensors that we have on display here gives you the confidence that this is where you should aim and a threat to bring down. Another key part of that, if I may, is the Sanctum battle management system, which will tell the operator when it's safe to shoot, because you want to know where that drone is going to fall. And you can actually deploy that light at light speed to mitigate the target in a safe place, as opposed to dropping it in, say, an area of population.
Now, when you're emitting this laser, is it actually thermally dropping down a target? Is it something that is causing like an EMP related thing, or something that would cause the electronics to fail, and that's how it goes out? What is that laser doing as far as this interaction?
Yeah, if you've ever played with a magnifying glass, it's that times a million. It's the deployment of light in a concentrated factor at a point that we choose, that is recommended to the operator, that deploys that heat and causes the system to fail that is being targeted with that heat.
So now I'm an operator, and this is what I'm looking at in real time, correct?
Yes, this is the laser and this is the overall system, and we can bring both of them together into a single pane of glass. For the purposes of this display, we have them separate so you can actually play with both at your leisure.
So I'm looking at the visual representation here. This is actually an image of what we saw over here with the drones that were moving around in real time. And we can see right here the image of the drone that is right behind me. Now, I see a mapping capability here as well. What is this telling me?
Yeah, sure. A key to understanding where to smartly bring down a target so you minimize risk to the surrounding environment is to know where you are when you're about to engage. And that is coordinates of our location in this system simulation, as well as the coordinates of where those cameras are pointing specifically.
Now, this looks very much like what I would see in Hollywood or a science fiction kind of, movie. But it seems pretty clear. I have something that I'm about to shoot down. I can call it off with the abort.
Exactly right.
I need to put shots on target. I flick this up so that way there's one additional piece of security so I don't just lean on it and it just fires. I can pick this up, push this down, drop the target.
That's right.
Now, what does this do?
So this, and if you'd like, you're more than welcome to, can help you steer and use the system for intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance. There you're moving the focus, and the other will help you steer.
Okay. Oh, there we go. This is zooming out, and this is zooming in.
Yeah, if you want to.
There we go. This is mostly user error because I don't play video games.
Yeah.
Okay, so do these buttons here do anything?
Yeah, that can help hook, track, and authorize the fire.
So I'm the user in the field in real time, able to do this, and then I can operate it from here, zooming in, zooming out, changing targets, locking in on the target, taking out the target.
That's exactly right.
Now, another application that we've seen with you guys is you guys have had drones that have been flying around. How are those drones incorporating with all of these different sensing pieces?
Yeah. So if you want to come with me, we'll come this way. Another capability for a clueless and careless drone operator, one potentially flying over a stadium, is to send another drone up to get alongside of it with its onboard radar system, identify that target, and deploy a net over the adversary or potential threat drone, and not let that net fall. Again, collateral damage risk, but keep that target tethered to the larger drone so you can carry it to a safe location and drop it off with no risk to the surrounding environment.
Now, this is an incredible piece because we're talking about dropping it off, no risk to the people down below, but this creates a strategic advantage for us. Now we have the ability to see the adversary's type of tech and be able to reverse engineer it, see what they're using, and we can create better ways of taking it down. So there's an offensive and a defensive piece that's integrated into this drone.
Exactly right. You can pull the SIM card right out of there after you've captured, and figure out where that drone came from.
Now, what is the range for something like this? How far can it go before it has to come back?
So a system such as the Fordham Technologies Drone Hunter, a great company from Utah, United States, can go 2, 4, or 6 kilometers to make that detection, depending upon the battery technology that you put on board. We're looking at even extending that further with Fordham, and we do some of that through the entire kill chain of detection with Fordham technology radars, queuing through the Sanctum operator control, and then telling Drone Hunter exactly where to fly to intercept. We can give it additional legs and give the operator additional chances at success.
You guys are really harnessing the measure twice, cut once kind of scenario. That way, it's not something that you're shooting down just because it's a knee-jerk reaction. You're verifying, double verifying, triple verifying to ensure that we are hitting the right target at the right time, not hitting anyone that could potentially be below. This is incredible. And so with this, how was your guys' reaction from seeing this in the field? What was the kind of information you guys were able to receive?
So 2 great points. Firstly, all of this equipment in the Sahara environment survived. Ruggedization matters. Much like you're saying, operators need clarity. They also need equipment they can rely on. The laser, the camera system, the drone hunter, the radars. They were in the desert here at African Lion. They're still performing today. Very excited to bring them to other locations. That would be the first point. And the other, Daniel, all these drone incursions, all the data that we're gathering, how do we learn from that? How do we take those instances and feed it into machine learning so we're optimized and better the next time around? So a great data point from Sanctum and what we've learned here is how do we get better next time? And we're taking that data back. We're going to refine our algorithms and be ready for the next opportunity the next time we can come to African Lion.
So you brought up an interesting point, which I think is highly critical. Many experiments that engineers do on a regular basis happen in a laboratory, but they stay within the confines of said laboratory.
That's right.
Never talking with the operator, always continually focusing in on refinement of engineering. You guys have broken down that paradigm. You guys are working with the operators in theater, in exercises, finding out what works, what doesn't. It may sound good from an engineer's perspective, and it may operate that same way. But the only way to figure out if it's going to actually have mission success is to put it in the field.
Daniel, you're so right. And this system, believe it or not, from Lockheed Martin, only started a year ago. 12 months ago, this was an idea. And we're very good at multi-year system requirements review, preliminary design review, critical design review. Your podcast has shown many great capabilities that come forward through that great development methodology. This is a minimum viable product that we've put in the field more than 10 times. And the feedback from soldiers here at African Lion will help us refine and not come up with improvements 2 months from now. We're talking next week. The learning from here will be fed into the next software release and the next capability we bring forward via Sanctum.
I only see an exponential capability coming out of this. You have engineers that are doing real-time evaluations on what is needed. You have the discussions with the operators. You have machine learning, all aggregated together in a multifaceted set of capabilities, buying down risks from theater, domestic risks, and everything in between. And this is brought to you here by Lockheed Martin. So thank you so much for taking the time to explain this. And it was a pleasure seeing you here in Morocco.
Pleasure to meet you. Look forward to the next time. Thank you.